Alrighty guys, it is Wednesday, December, I think 13, 2017. So, first of all, I have deleted a couple of videos. I deleted my introductions and all but one of my 5 personal goals I was working on. The videos were just so boring, it was ridiculous. So I deleted those, and I deleted my goals rant video where I was like, I don't know, it was silly. And I deleted my Let That Shit Go video, because once I listened to it, I realized that my story was still far too obvious and people would be able to figure out who I was talking about. So I wanted to remake that video without the story. So basically what I was talking about was people that have had an event in their life that 20, 30, 40 years later, they're still using that event as the crutch to all of their bad habits and all of their problems. And basically they bring it up in conversation frequently. It could be a parent dying, it could be a breakup or a divorce, or that they were adopted or abandoned, or whatever the case is. It doesn't even have to be as severe as those examples. But I've come across many people in my life that have really bad habits of saying, when you kind of push their limits on why they're choosing to do a bad behavior, whether it's not going outside of their comfort zone, or trying something new, or they have an alcohol problem, or they have an anger issue, or they have depression issues. And you start to dive into it, and it always comes back to that same topic, that same trauma they went through. I get going through trauma. I understand that trauma is traumatic. I get it. But what I don't understand is why people are allowed to stay in the mindset where they think that it's normal to hold on to that trauma and basically make it the chess piece on their chest that they wear all the time. Whether it's, it could be an illness, whatever. So it just frustrates me that the particular, let's say a death of a parent, and let's say we're talking about alcoholism or anger, and you ask a person why they think they have problems with anger, and I've always been angry, and back when my parent did this or my parent did that, my dad left, or whatever, my parents got divorced. This is not coming out as eloquently as I wanted, but my point is that people need to learn to let that shit go. Alright? I could use, and I'm not judging anybody, I'm trying to change your frame of mind, your frame of reference, your thought processes, because if you can change your mindset when it comes to things like that, it's going to change your life, really. I could use a lot of things as crutches for bad habits or bad behaviors. I could say, oh, well, I was adopted, and then my parents got divorced when I was, like 2 years later, and my family was destroyed, so I smoked to relieve the pressure from that. But I don't like, I don't know. I don't like the way this video is going, but I'm going to keep going. Don't even know how to phrase it now. Like the way it came out, the first video was really like perfect, but unfortunately I had too much info in the story. So don't let that situation or that thing rule your life. You're letting it win. You're letting it control your life. And if it was really such a horrible thing and it was so traumatic, what you need to do is you need to deep dive into the situation, really like analyze all of the things that happened and all of the things that how it affected you. Feel the feelings, the anger, the sadness, the depression, the, you know, it's not fair, whatever the case is. Feel that. I mean, sit there and just feel it. Cry your eyes out, scream, kick, punch, whatever you gotta do, and then let it go. That's it. Choose to let it go, because it's in your past. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't go back in time and change it. God knows there's a ton of things I wish I could go back in time and change. I spent half my day yesterday wishing I could go back in time and change things. But you can't. And so the only thing you can do is take the lessons, put them in your little Rolodex in your brain of lessons, and release it into the universe. Let it go. There's nothing you can do to change it. There's nothing that can undo it. You need to accept that it did do damage to you, it did hurt you, but now you're going to move on. Now you're going to put it behind you, and you're going to let your life unfold without that ball and chain. You know, that's a good analogy, actually, now that I said that. Like, I just pictured people walking around with like 2 or 3 balls and chains hanging off of their ankles, you know, and they're just, I'd be depressed too. Like, you can't ever get anywhere when you got, you know, 3 or 4 balls and chains hooked to your freaking ankles. So it's all in how you choose to think about it. And if nobody's told you that it's not okay or it's time to let it go, consider this your sign. This is me telling you it's time to let it go. Let that shit go and move on. For your own peace of mind, your own. And even if you're like 60 years old, that's okay. Because whatever time you have left, you get to be free of that ball and chain. If you're in your 20s or you're a teenager and you happen to be seeing this, even better. Because if you can deal with it now and let it go, you're going to learn a skill that will help you for the rest of your life. That's the main thing, is to be aware enough and have a mindset that you can consciously choose to deal with things in a correct manner. There's lots of info on how to deal with things in a correct manner. How to grieve, how to, you know, move past something. It's very common to ruminate about things where you think about the same thing over and over and over and over. I do the same thing, and I hate it, but I do. But you need to just stop and say, okay, I'm going to handle this. I'm going to deal with this. Write it down. Draw pictures. Make a video. Whatever you got to do. Sit and be in that situation fully. Don't push away the feelings. Don't push away the emotions, because that's where most of us get hooked up, is that we try to shove those feelings and emotions away because they're uncomfortable. And like for me, I have a hard time breaking down because I feel like once I let loose, like it's never going to stop. I'm either just going to snap and go crazy and be psychotic, or I'm never going to stop crying, or I'm going to get so depressed I'm never going to come out of it, or whatever. So know what you're getting into before you get into it. Know where you're going. Know that you want to come out the other side of it having put this behind you. And feel the emotions, deal with the emotions, take note of the emotions. And then once you know that you've cried it out, or you've screamed it out, or whatever the case is, take some deep breaths and go, okay, that's that. It's done. It's over. There's nothing more I can do. I'm putting this behind me. And I literally, like, for me, I either write it down on a piece of paper and burn it and watch the ashes, like, fly up into the air, or I like, picture it as an object, and I let it float up into the, just float away, up into the ether, out into the universe, and it's gone. It's done. So those are some tips that can help you. I didn't quite mean to have this video be so long. I hope that it was helpful. If it wasn't, I apologize. If it was, let me know. Tell me some stories about things that you're ready to release. Leave some comments below whether you like this video or not. And, sorry, I'm like, ugh. And my nose, I can hear how nasally I am today, so I apologize for that too, because I know my voice is very probably high-pitched. And sorry for all the bouncing. So leave a comment below if you like what I have to say. Anything in this video resonated with you, feel free to hit the subscribe button. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.